What is up, Gato Squad? Welcome back to the channel. My name is Elias. If you are new here and you like car stuff like I do, make sure you hit that button below to subscribe. So as you can see behind me, we still have the Honda Accord. I've been driving it for like 2 weeks now. I put over 1,000 miles on it, so I've got a lot of opinions on it. So today I'm going to share with you the 5 things that I don't like or that I hate of the 2017 Honda Accord V6 Touring. Let's go for a ride. Here we go, guys. Now before we get started, I do want to mention that there are things that I love about this car. So it's not all about the hate. I actually do enjoy this car a lot. I'm definitely going to miss it when I give it back, when I get my Type R back. This is a courtesy loaner car from Honda of Hackettstown. I did have this car for 2 weeks because we're doing a lot of things to my Type R. More on that in other videos. But yeah, I do want to mention that I do enjoy this car. I'm going to miss it when I give it back, and we're all going to miss that beautiful V6 under the hood. So I'll be making a 5 things I love about this car as well. Don't miss out on that. However, no car is perfect, and there are 5 things that have annoyed me in the time that I've driven the car. First of which is the radio. Alright, so the radio. What don't I like about this radio? Well, let's go through it all. Now, the obvious first thing that I don't like about the radio is the fact that it's missing that volume knob. It should not be missing a volume knob. They are fixing it in the newer Accords, fortunately. I mistakenly, in my review of this Honda Accord, said that there's no buttons on the steering wheel to control the volume. I was wrong. There is a little volume knob here. It's not very clear where it was, but once people pointed it out to me, I was able to use this little knob on the steering wheel to control the volume. However, it doesn't excuse it from not having a volume knob. The other thing that really bothers me about this radio is that it's kind of difficult and cumbersome to use. There's a lot of buttons, and you know, you gotta press different things. Let's say I want to go just want to listen to the radio. I have to hit audio, and if the audio is mapped to something else, like let's say my cell phone that I may or may not want to be using, I have to then go back and I have to hit source, and then I have to change to FM, and then I can go back to audio, and then I'll have my radio controls. Shouldn't be that hard to use a radio in a car. It should be easier than that. So it's very cumbersome. The touch screen itself is not very capacitive, I guess. It's not very sensitive to what you're doing. You have to be very deliberate in what you're doing, and since it is a touch screen, you can't be looking at the road. You have to look at the radio. So I really don't like the way they did that. They are going to improve on it. The newer radios on the new Accords are amazing, so I'm glad that they improved on it. This one is just not my cup of tea. Now, the next thing that's really bothered me about this car, and especially because we're still in the middle of winter, it is early March, but we've had a lot of snowstorms lately, and it's been pretty cold out, so I've been using this feature a lot. It's the heated seats. Now, the heated seats, of course, work really well, but the thing that I really don't like about it, the thing I hate about it, is that it only gives you 2 settings: lukewarm or really hot, scorching hot. And there's no middle setting. There's no 3 or 4 settings that you can choose. The reason they did that, I think, is because Acura has to have some differentiating features. So Acura cars have different settings, different modes for their heated seats. They at least have 3 modes, probably 4 modes. This only has 2. This could really use a medium setting that it doesn't have, unfortunately, and therefore you're stuck with, like I said, lukewarm or a scorching hot seat. And it really takes away from the comfort level that this car could have. It has everything you need mechanically to be a perfect seat in terms of the seat heaters, but it's just missing that medium function, and it's really frustrating. It's really annoying, and that's why it's number 2. Now, this next one also has to do with the seats, and that's the fact that while the seats are pretty comfortable, they're pretty good, they really do a terrible job at holding you in when you're driving the car in any sporting manner. Now I would understand if this is the 4-cylinder touring model, but this is the V6, so I would expect a bit of a better bolstering coming from these seats. Now, it is understandable that, you know, the bolstering is not that aggressive, but when it comes to sporting sedans, I do have a certain expectations when it comes to the seats. And like I said, the seats, first of all, the leather is really good. It's perforated leather, and they feel amazing to sit in, you know, for a nice long drive, comfortable on the highway. But I think they could do a better job with the bolstering on the sides and on the bottom as well, to hold you in, because taking any corner semi-aggressively even will make you slide around and kind of not be that comfortable anymore. And I use different settings, and I move the seat around to see if there's any improvement to be had, but unfortunately that just was not the case. Now, the next thing that I hate about this car may be a little bit surprising, because it's the transmission. Now, I do have to qualify that, because I do prefer this transmission to a CVT transmission. I don't like the CVT. I really dislike all the new CVTs that are coming out these days, and I'm glad there's a regular automatic, but it has problems. So by far my biggest problem with the transmission is its lack of responsiveness. Like, you hit the go pedal, you wait a second, and then it goes. It's kind of annoying to have to wait for the car to do what you want it to do. Especially when nowadays, for example, the ZF 8-speed, the ZF 9-speeds, they're instant. You want something, they do it. And it's a regular automatic as well. Why can't Honda figure out how to make this transmission be as responsive as besides me? I mean, it's been so long. I mean, that's unacceptable. Let's do it again. I'm gonna wait till it calms down. I'm gonna punch it, and there we go. That's way too long of a response time for a transmission to change gears. It has one job, and that's to change gears, and it doesn't do it properly. The only recourse you might have, you might think, is to put it in sport mode, and that's by shifting the gear lever into S. But no. Let me demonstrate again. I'm gonna leave it alone, punch it. It's a little bit better. But what the sport mode, as I'm calling it, does is makes the transmission clunkier. It holds the revs higher. You feel like the car's holding you back. The car jumps around. It searches for gears more. You know, it's kind of lurching a lot more because it holds the rev more for you. When it upshifts, it doesn't do it that smoothly. You kind of feel it, and when it downshifts, it doesn't even blip the throttle for you. It just kind of downshifts and lets the engine slow the car down. It's not smooth. It's exactly what you don't want from an automatic transmission. This would be acceptable like 10 years ago, but nowadays there's so many good transmissions out, and I don't know why Honda has not really developed this thing. Put it back in D mode, because S mode is just way too annoying of a transmission mode. It just kind of lurches and it doesn't feel right. In at least in D mode, everything is smooth and comfortable when you don't want to drive sporty, which is what most people are going to be doing anyway. But as soon as you want responsiveness, you gotta wait. I mean, I don't know if you guys heard that. I'll do it again. I'll tell you when I punch it. But, you know, we're going, 40 miles an hour. I punch it, and finally we're going. That's way too long, and that's why it's high on my list of the things that really annoys me about this car. It could have been so much better with a better transmission. It really lets that V6 engine down. And then finally, the last thing I really, don't like about this Honda Accord V6 Touring from 2017 is the styling. Now, a lot of you guys are going to say, well, the styling actually looks really good. I do have to admit, and from certain angles, this Accord does look really good. What I don't like is the overwroughtness of it all. So all the chrome, all of the different, shiny bits that it has within the headlights, around the door trims. a lot of different chrome, and especially on this black, everything, all the chrome stands out even further, which I really don't like. My biggest problem overall is the fact that I really do like the previous generation Accord to this one in terms of styling. They could have just, slightly improved the previous generation and make it look really good. I really enjoyed looking at the previous generation. This new generation, it's just not my thing. I don't like the way it looks that much. When I see it coming down the road, like I just saw one right there, this is a Honda Accord after all, they are everywhere. I really don't like the way it looks. It looks misproportioned is the right word for it. I just don't like the way it all looks. And yeah, some people are gonna say, hey, you own a Type R, that's stupid, it's the worst styled car ever made. Yeah, it's also got some issues with the styling, but I think the Type R looks a lot better than this Accord. Looks are subjective, but I am giving you guys my own experience, and that's number 5. I'm gonna leave you guys with a final little drive here up my hill climb. I hope you guys at least enjoy that and look forward to the 5 things I love about the Honda Accord. Thanks for watching, guys. I'll catch you guys next time. Peace out.